4 years ago, we hopped in our old Volkswagen van and hit the road, starting what we thought would be a 12-month trip around Australia. But we had no idea really what adventure laid ahead.
We quickly learned that 1 year simply wasn't enough time, and as our travels continued, our entire mindset around life on the road changed. We opted for a slower pace, one that allowed us to dive deep into fully experiencing a region and connecting with fellow travelers. We prioritized building a community, a home away from home with the friends who became our family.
Over this time, we've seen so much of the beauty Australia has to offer, ranging from the lush tropics to the barren desert, rugged coastlines to dense forest, unbearable heat to rugging up around the fire to stay warm.
And still, when people ask where our favorite place was, we simply can't give an answer, for it was every place we visited that shaped us into who we are today. Every stranger who became a friend, every high and low that taught us to stay humble and hopeful, every sunrise and sunset that reminded us how precious this life is, and that there's really no better way to spend it than out in nature and with one another.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
It has been a while, but for good reason too. It's been such an amazing couple of months we've had, mainly focusing on spending time with family. Kendall's parents came and visited, who we haven't seen in 5 years. We got to meet our nephew for the first time, who's 2, plus obviously just catching up with all Australian family that we realistically haven't really seen at all in our travels. So our cup is definitely filled up from family time. It's been so amazing, but obviously it's just been more about spending time with them than capturing anything. And in the times that we have had, we've also been doing some really exciting, massive projects with just the two of us and also for our team over at Soulside Studio.
But just because we've technically finished our lap does not mean that we're done traveling. We've just left Coffs Harbour and we're continuing our way south for a bit. We're just going up and down the coastline searching for waves. The weather has been unbelievable.
Amazing. Like
the best consistent weather we've had, I think, along our entire trip. So come along with us as we continue exploring the East Coast.
have made it back to my parents' place in little old Coffs Harbour.
We didn't document it much, but we just spent a few weeks on the South Coast hanging out with friends. We had our film premiere. We did a short film with our best mates, Tarn and Reese. We'll link it up here somewhere if you want to give it a watch. It's a big passion project of ours. So we had the premiere screening of that, and we also said goodbye to our friends Tarn and Reese, who are going on a brand new adventure in a new country. We're so excited for them, but it was actually, yeah, it was pretty
Really
hard
sad.
saying goodbye to them. Like,
I think good luck, but we're going to miss you.
we miss you if you're watching. But now, like Glenn said, we're in Coffs Harbour, and we have something very exciting that we're working on the next few months.
Yeah, it's a bit of an undertaking, but we've learned our lessons with Vance in the past, and having a few little things that we've already learnt with Nigel. We managed to buy a still running engine for Nigel, but so that Nigel can still be on the road. He's still working pretty well, but I think the piston rings are going. There's a few things that I feel like he could cark at any minute, to the point where I want to preemptively jump on it. So thanks to YouTube, Facebook groups and Google, I've decided to rebuild an entire engine with the idea that we'll rebuild it out of Nigel and then swap it over. So thankfully we're still using him, and there's a fair few cosmetic things we want to get done as well. It sort of started out as a rough idea, and now it's turning into a whole thing. So we've got a couple of months really, because it's going to be our first Christmas at home as well. So we haven't had a Christmas in Coffs for 3 or 4 years since being on the road. So we're sort of camped up here, getting to continue spending really good time with my family. Also have a massive job to do, which is super exciting to get stuck into.
So we will be documenting all of it if you are interested in that, but we will also be doing trips up and down the coast when the weather is looking good. So when the wind is in our favor and the swell is in our favor, I think you can guess exactly what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why we still wanted to keep Nigel mobile. So he's still running and everything's going great. We just want to make sure that he's tip-top ready to go. So come January next year, Nigel should be super schmick and even more reliable.
So on that note, we're going to go get stuck in, and we'll see you on the next one.